How's it going, everyone? Today we got a Tony Pro Guide, some tips and tricks to how to play him like a pro. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and without further ado, let's go into these tips and tricks with Tony. Now Tony, the hip hoppy hippo, his style is featuring Gigi, and while Gigi is an ox pecker, in theory she's supposed to be his sidekick, and sure, she complements him well with healing, but other than that, Gigi's support to Tony is not as strong as you may consider, and so there's some ways that you have to use her to try to get the maximum ability out of Gigi. And so I'm gonna explain some of these today. So everything about Tony is featured around Gigi, and so his active ability is compelling rhythm, which means Tony can send Gigi onto either allies or foes. Which Gigi, if it's an ally, she will heal him. If it's a foe, she will deal damage to him. And if they get too far away, she'll return back to Tony and give him increased range in bushes, and also heal him over time. His primal instinct, once you unlock it at level 12, is called speed flow, which essentially means Gigi now plays music, a trail of music, that if Tony or allies go through it, they will gain a speed boost. So this is one of the better primal instincts in the game of Zooba right now. And so if you get a chance to unlock it, make sure that you unlock that slot so you could try to get the primal instinct for Tony, because it does make a big difference for him. Now we're going to talk about items and builds. Now for items with Tony, the main thing you want to key on is speed and health, because that's Tony's strengths in Zooba. His damage is fairly weak, and also his speed without the other item speed is kind of very slow, and so you want to build on having speed with Tony and also healing. And so my recommendation would be mixing vampire teeth with bandage as well as jungle shoes with Standoff. I believe that's the best combination with Tony. If you have the fifth item, add coffee or either a drilling shot. If you could get the vitamins, the gummy vitamins, 100% put that on, because that really kind of buffs Gigi to be way more useful. But if you can't get it, vampire teeth and band-aid is important to use. If you don't have the band-aid, you couldn't get it, you can always add on the coffee or either snorkel, depending on how you like to play if you're passive. But really, if you could get that band-aid, mix the band-aids with the vampire teeth, it's very, very good on Tony. It really helps them out because he's one of the weakest characters in Zooba right now. And of course, if you could get the special items like pheromone, rockets, gauntlet, put them things on, because the special items are kind of the more OP items in Zooba right now. For the skill points with my bow, I put all my points into range and then velocity, and then the last points I put into cooldown reduction. As I've always stated, rapid fire bows shoots way better, more accurate projectiles when the velocity is to the max, and so you always want to max out your velocity off rapid fire bows. With the spear, range and cooldown reduction, and then the shotgun, a bunch of range, cooldown reduction, then the rest into velocity. So that's just pretty much it with that. Now matchups, Tony is fairly weak in general. He's one of the weakest characters in Zooba right now, so he's got a lot of disadvantages against a bunch of characters, but like the ones that it's pretty much almost impossible to win with Tony. If you're going against a Paco with Tony, oh my goodness, you better just hope he does not have the primal instinct, because you're not winning that battle. Same goes for if you're going against Susie or even Nico or just a bunch of other characters like tanks. You gotta really be smart with Tony, because he got a lot of disadvantages to certain characters because of his slow HP and weak damage. But either way, his advantages, I would say, is, I guess, slow, like people like Etna. Like he only could really got advantages against them type of slow, low health characters, because, or even Skippy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. His matchups is not you're in the uphill battle when you're playing with Tony. I'ma just be real, y'all. Now let's go into some tips and tricks with Tony to try to encourage Tony players, so you don't feel like it's impossible to win with this dude, because there are some ways you can. So let's go right into him. Alright, the first tip is to not ever use your active ability when fighting someone in combat. You should always, and I repeat, always keep Gigi on you when you're fighting a player. Don't you ever use your active ability when you're fighting against a player or a foe in game, because Gigi is not going to do anything or provide or help you out at all. You're going to just weaken yourself even more, taking away the ability to heal and get the speed boost from her. And so when you're fighting in battles against players with Tony, don't ever take Gigi off you, because that is a a bad mistake. That is a blunder, and you'll regret it. Now this second one is a trick, and I know some people already know this one, but because of Gigi being visible in bushes, you can actually trick players into think you're in a direction or a spot that you're not. So essentially what you want to do is send Gigi to an area that you're not occupied by, and you could trick players into thinking that you're there, and sometimes it could help you out with sneaking players, catching them off guard real fast with like a big shotgun and bold shotgun spear. So, and even also to add on to it, if you have the toolkit, you could be outside your bush, right, hiding the toolkit, put Gigi inside the bush, players thinking that you're in there, but they don't know that you're in a barrel the whole time. And so you can also play players like that too. Just a smaller trick, just a small one, but it can help you out. It can help you out in battles. Another tip is circling. Again, if you have the primal instinct, these for those who have the primal instinct with Tony, because Gigi moves fairly slow, and when you're running ahead with Tony, sometimes you make a mistake by not getting your speed boost, because you need that speed boost a lot to catch players, man, because Tony can't really close the gap on a lot of characters because he's fairly slow without that primal. But when you get the primal instinct with the lone spear, you actually can catch players. And so you need to learn how to circle, just to do a quick little circle around and to wait to let Gigi catch up to you. You can still feel like you're in the rhythm and flow, so you don't fully stop, but just have a little moment when you take a little circle, a little backspin, so you can get back to Gigi, get the speed boost, so you can be able to catch a player that you may have probably seen ahead or things like that. And so just a small little tip. A tip with Tony right here is very important, y'all. Now pay attention to this one. Stand still fights, right? When you're playing with Tony, you do not want to run from players, or you don't want to chase players. You want to have like a boxing match. You want to be able to fight your player so Gigi could be way more involved. If you're running for a player, Gigi can't really help you. If you're chasing a player, Gigi can't really help you. But if it's a standstill and you're dueling against a player and y'all both going at it and it's not no one running, or you're running at them, then Gigi could be very tremendous, helpful, and viable indeed, because you could use her while you're fighting the player to continue to move back, to circle around her speed, to be able to heal when you might get a little low, and also to be able to throw your own attacks when you get the speed boost for them. So when you're playing with Tony, you do not want to chase or run for players. You want to have all your fights to be standoffs, and to just see who make the best person win, because Tony does got good HP to survive standalone fights. But when you're running, or if you're trying to chase player, you make a big mistake with playing with Tony. So you want to make Gigi be involved, and that's the best way to make Gigi be involved, by playing players straight up and not running or chasing them. Another tip, which is kind of like a trick, but I will say it because this will help you out. I had found this out not too long ago, and I did not recognize till I had played with Tony just recently. But if you spear and shotgun, the animation would automatically shoot another shotgun, but it would not do the second shotgun damage. It just cancel off your second shotgun. And so a tip with Tony, do not spear and shotgun. Don't do that combination. Rather use your shotgun and bow and then spear last, because if you try to spear and shotgun, you would lose one of your shotgun's cooldowns and you will not be able to use it. You will have to cool down for both of them, even though you shot one time. And so I learned this, and just a little warning for those that may be spearing shotgunning and you missing that extra damage. He already got weak damage. Why you missing that second shotgun? So yeah, and I'm gonna have to work on that, because I do it all the time. And so man, I'm gonna have to practice on not doing that, because right now he's bugged with that. This tip with Tony I like to call is figure eight. Now it's not really figure eight, it's more like side to side. But when you're playing and you find a player with Tony, you always wanna, like I was talking earlier, attack a player and run back to the direction where Gigi is trailing you at. So wherever Gigi's trailing, trying to follow you at, you always wanna attack the player, run to the direction Gigi goes at, and attack the player from the other side, run to that direction Gigi's going, trying to follow you back to, and you just keep repeating it just like that. So more so like the slide to slide play, but it is very effective with you're able to dodge players too as well. You go in a little circle around them, hit them, run back to Gigi, so you can keep boosting off her, because when you're playing players straight up, like I was talking earlier, she is very much more usable compared to if you're trying to chase a player, or a player is trying to chase after you. And the last tip I have is practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect or makes better. Either way, when you're playing with Tony, you just gotta practice with him. Learn how to play the character. You will understand Gigi is not the worst sidekick, but she's not good in general because again, she takes away an active ability. If I was a Zooba developer, I would have made that if you threw Gigi onto a player, she gives Tony like a enhancement on damage towards that character. But essentially, she tried to fight the player, and that does not help at all. And so, the last tip is just practice with Tony and just learn how to use Gigi the more effective way by always staying. Don't ever try to leave Gigi behind because she's just slow. Just, you know, they're a duo, they're a sidekick, they're a couple, they work together. And so you gotta just stay around her all the time and just be smart with your attacks. Don't use that spear shotgun immediately combo. Instead, take your time when you use that because you will cancel out that second shotgun like I was saying earlier. Bow and shotgun is better to use. The shotgun bow then spear last. That's what I like doing more often than the other one. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I have more character tips and tricks coming soon. I'm gonna have Yara, I'm gonna have Shelly, I'm gonna have whatever kind y'all want me to do. I'm gonna try to give it out to y'all so y'all can be able to, you know, learn some tips and tricks to try to get better. Because again, I like having fun playing Zooba, and I know you guys like having fun playing Zooba, and it's not really fun if difficulty you don't really know how to understand the character. And so that's what this channel is here for. But anyway, y'all have a great day, and I'll see y'all next time.
Hey you! Yeah, subscribe. SUBSCRIB.